And when I hear some, like Senator McCain recently, suggest that our Secretary of State, John Kerry, who served in the United States Senate, a Vietnam veteran, who's provided exemplary service to this nation, is somehow less trustworthy in the interpretation of what's in a political agreement than the supreme leader of Iran, that's an indication of the degree to which partisanship has crossed all boundaries.
After that slap, the senator, first on Fox, I guess maybe to slap back. Senator, what did you think of what the president said about you?
Well, you know, the president has this unfortunate habit that if someone disagrees with him, then he indulges in personal attacks, whether it be John Boehner, John McCain, Bibi Netanyahu, or others. Look, what is irrefutable here, Neil, is that the Ayatollah Khomeini has said one thing interpreting this so-called framework agreement that is directly opposite in its most fundamental, important areas than John Kerry has. I don't know which one to believe, but I do know they're drastically different, whether it be on inspections, whether it be on whether sanctions will be lifted immediately or not. And by the way, on this issue, two people who I think are most respected in America and the world, Henry Kissinger and George Shultz, wrote a searing indictment of this whole process and what has come out of it, as I'm sure you know, in the Wall Street Journal.
Do you think then that Secretary Kerry is lying?
Oh, I think Secretary Kerry is. Well, look, if you convene 40 nations in Geneva for the purpose of orchestrating the transition from power of Bashar Assad, when Bashar Assad is winning, that must border on delusional. If you think that you can orchestrate an agreement between Israel and Palestine and the Palestinians, which was also another abject failure on the part of the Secretary of State, well, look at the record. And look at the record throughout these events in the Middle East and/or Ukraine, where Lindsey Graham and I have predicted every single thing that has happened, and the President has said, made incredible remarks such as success stories of Somalia and Yemen. The last combat troop is out of Iraq, and we're leaving a free, prosperous Iraq. ISIS being the JVs. I mean, the list goes on of an out of touch, out of reality President of the United States. Certainly these comments have nothing to do with the actual events on the ground in the Middle East.
But obviously there was a personal tone and zing to what the president was saying, yes, in reference to you, mm-hmm, and it led me to think he doesn't like you that much.
Well, perhaps not, but when we're talking about issues of this gravity and this importance, that nuclear Middle East, which I think could result of a flawed agreement that only delays Iran's acquisition of nuclear weapons, there's no point in getting personal. This is huge.
But it is a pattern, though, right, Senator? I mean, you're not. You're the latest to suffer the president's wrath. Not too long ago, he was doing the same with Governor Scott Walker. I want you to listen to this.
Yeah.
It would be a foolish approach to take, and you know, perhaps Mr. Walker, after he's taken some time to bone up on foreign policy, will feel the same way.
So more or less another popular candidate who wasn't up to speed.
Maybe he would share his view about the JV. Who knows? ISIS. But look at his comments and his temper tantrum about Bibi Netanyahu, our closest ally, the only democratically elected leader in the entire Middle East. He has much harsher words for Bibi than he does the Ayatollah.
Well, do you guys ever talk? In other words, Senator, when you come out or he says something like that, or he hears you make a remark like that, does he call you first or say, you know, John, what the heck were you saying? Or does it just, is it all fought in public?
It's in public, unfortunately, but it is in public. But it also obscures, Neil, the fact that the world is on fire. We now see renewed Russian activities in Ukraine, who we refuse to give defensive weapons to. China is now consolidating their position in these islands offshore. The whole situation in Yemen is turning into chaos and a return of al-Qaeda in Yemen, among other things, besides the Iranians being completely on the move. They've taken control in 4 countries, Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, and
The whole
Syria,
region.
Lebanon.
Right.
Yeah, they've taken control in countries that
Right.
were once our staunch allies.
Senator, thank you very, very much. Good seeing you again.